Hey there, guys.
Hey, yeah.
So we're moving on to the worst decade yet. The 80s. There's really no good movies. I have no honorable mentions, so yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do, you shit.
Oh, fine. His list is pretty much almost garbage. He has a few good movies, and I have the best list because I actually have some pretentious art films.
I
so,
do
yeah.
too. Gosh, my number
First Blood.
Alright.
Honorable mentions. I have 4 honorable mentions.
Honorable blow.
I can't say honorable. Number 1 honorable mention is Dead Poets Society.
Deadpool.
Robin Williams. I have not seen My Left Foot, and so I don't know if Daniel Day-Lewis should have won Best Actor, but Robin Williams was really great.
He won Best Actor? Robin Williams?
No,
Daniel Day-Lewis
won for
but
1989.
Robin Williams was nominated?
Yes,
Alright.
and so was Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And Morgan Freeman. One of my other honorable mentions is Rocky 4. It has moved down, unfortunately. It's still an amazing movie.
Fortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, it should be in my top 10.
Yeah.
How Rocky said right there. Amazing.
It's a political thriller.
One of my other honorable mentions is Ghostbusters, one of the best comedies.
Yeah.
And also The Thing, one of the best horror movies.
My honorable mentions, I have 3. The first is E.T. I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember loving it, and it was like the first movie I remember watching. So, yeah, it's pretty close to my heart. Second is Back to the Future. I think this is like one of the best written movies ever. I think it has great writing. Like everything pays off, and I really like the characters. And my next one is Rain Man. My final honorable mentions: Rain Man. Two of my favorite performances of all time are in this movie, Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise. Like Dustin Hoffman, I can believe that he was retarded after watching this movie. Tom Cruise, he's supremely underrated in this movie. His performance is amazing. He's up there with Dustin Hoffman. So there you go.
My first honorable mention is Rain Man. It's a pretty fantastic film. Has good performances and it's not super cliched. It's not. It's somewhat original, and it has one problem, but it's a pretty great movie. I recommend it if you're into retarded movies. My other honorable mention is a movie that you probably never heard of. It's in the top 250, and that's Cinema Paradiso.
I've heard of it.
Cinema Paradiso. I can't really pronounce it. It's a foreign film, and I think it's a really fantastic film. The story is really good, and I expected it to be way different. I thought it'd be just like the old guy just telling his life story, but it was a lot different, and it took more original turns.
Okay, my number 10 is the longest movie on this list. I think any of our lists, honestly. It's Once Upon a Time in America, and it's almost 4 hours, I believe.
Oh damn it! I forgot to watch that as well.
And
It's like it'll make your list.
one of the best things about this movie is definitely the acting. De Niro and James Wood are honestly amazing. This is definitely the best James Wood performance.
James Wood?
James Woods.
I never heard of him.
And Robert De Niro. I've seen the 3
Sergio
Leone films, and this is definitely his best.
Alright, so my number 10, everyone's just gonna call me a fanboy for this. My number 10 is Empire Strikes Back.
Fanboy, right here.
Hey, it's an amazing movie, in my opinion. It's the best Star Wars movie. He calls like Mark Hamill awful in this movie.
He's not awful,
but he's
not.
I think this is he's like great in this movie. Like he's like really improved from the first movie, and and I think Darth Vader in this movie is amazing, and obviously it has like possibly like the most famous quote of all time in it.
What?
I am your father.
Every line in the movie
is
is
the actual
famous.
quote. I've heard that's not true.
No, he says no. I am no father.
It's one of the every line in the movie is like famous though.
Yeah, and I know like every one. Fantastic. It has like really good action scenes, really good character development.
All right, my number 10 is Brazil, directed by Terry Gilliam, who made 12 Monkeys. But this movie is far better because it's original.
Didn't Terry Gilliam make
Monty Python.
Yeah, Monty Python.
Go. I want to see it.
No!
Say
Yeah, he did. Well, this movie is far better than Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Okay, if you're watching this movie for Robert De Niro, he's not really in the movie much. He's in it for like 5 minutes. But he's really great in the movie. It's a really unique movie and it has great ideas. It's artsy, everything that I want from a movie, and it surprised me. The ending was just, damn. It's not perfect. It's pretty fantastic though. And Jonathan Pryce is amazing in it. He's a great actor. I hope he dies though.
For Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
Josh, just go.
My number 9 is The Princess Bride. And I know you guys, or I know Delish doesn't think it should be on my list.
This is why my list is the
I haven't
best
seen it
one.
in a while, but I liked it, so I respect you.
Yeah, directed by Rob Reiner, who also directed
Rob
When
Reiner.
Harry Met Sally, and he was in The Wolf of Wall Street. The Princess Bride. It's like a really cliched story, but I feel like
It's executed well.
yeah, it's executed very well, and just overall, it's a really entertaining and fun movie to watch.
Yeah, it's a cliched movie and it's cliched to the end.
Yeah.
And it has like one of the most famous quotes ever as well.
Yeah, that one line.
I forget it actually.
Oh my god.
You killed my father.
No, what's the other one?
Inconceivable.
Yeah, inconceivable. Inconceivable.
Give it a 10.
You killed my father. I'll give it.
Prepare to die.
What?
my father.
A husband of a dead wife, father of a dead son. I will have my revenge in this life for the rest.
Revengeances?
You give it a 10?
No.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Actually?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to IMDb.
Inconceivable.
So my number 9 is the action movie First Blood. This is one of those movies that I feel like the sequels ruined the first movie for a lot of people because like when you say First Blood, they're like, oh, that like shit. Rambo's like shit.
I did
But
give it a
First
10.
Blood is great. First Blood is amazing. First Blood is amazing. People say Stallone can't act. Yeah, he can't act now. But
He's good in Creed.
oh yeah,
He's good in
well,
Creed.
But in First Blood, he gives a fantastic performance. This is one of those action movies where it's not just like so like clear cut, like good and bad. It gives you like the police chief, and it's all about like morals, like who you think is right and wrong. You know, it's not like oh the cop's the villain, Rambo's the hero. Like everyone, yeah, it's just a great thinking action movie. This is nothing like First Blood Part 2. Which Delisha obviously loves since he hates First Blood.
No, I like it a lot. It's 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's
pretty fantastic.
Yeah, and the action is awesome. It's like amazing.
It's probably one of the closest action movies to my top 10. But
Wow.
it's like
It's great
Die
action.
Hard and First Blood.
I just want to say how in depth you two are going into this, and I'm just like, it's good.
Okay, my number 9 is like about a bull, and it's like a raging one.
Rocky.
Too low.
Alright, Raging Bull is a movie that I rewatched, and I think when I first watched it, I was like, yeah, it's good. I'll probably never watch it again, but then I rewatched it and I was like, oh, this movie's fantastic. It's pretty fantastic. Robert De Niro is absolutely amazing in this movie. It's one of the best. It's one of his best performances. Maybe his best. No, it's the second best. The boxing scenes are amazing. They're brutal and they don't hold back. You know, like Rocky Balboa. Fucking shitty fight scenes. Can't believe it. He's an interesting character, and he's an interesting character. He doesn't just beat his wife. There's actually some metaphorical stuff there.
Yeah.
And Joe Pesci's really good, and he's not playing the same character in every movie like he sometimes does in Martin Scorsese movies. I like the fact that it's in black and white. It does add something to the movie. It feels like it's actually from, when was this taking place? 1940s?
Yeah, 40s.
Yeah, it actually feels like it's from that time. But yeah, Raging Bull is pretty fantastic. Go watch it if you like great performances.
Unlike Josh.
I love great performances. Okay, my number 8 is Raiders of the Lost Ark, the only good Indiana Jones movie. I don't care what you say. Temple of Doom and Last Crusade are awful. Sean Connery is a bad actor. I don't want to tell you to go watch it because I already know like everyone's seen Indiana Jones.
It's like one of the most iconic movies ever.
Yeah, it's really good.
Like everyone knows like the sword and like the gun.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. 8 out of 10.
Okay, yeah. That's
and everyone knows like him like taking the idol. And,
yeah.
My number 8 is Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. Stanley Kubrick is my favorite director of all time. I love most of his movies, but I don't dislike any of his movies. I think all of his movies are at least good. But yeah, he's my favorite director. The Shining is just another example of his great directing, and this is probably Jack Nicholson's best performance of all time. I mean,
Chinatown.
Batman.
I mean, Here's Johnny is like one of the most famous movie lines ever. This movie's intense. It's extremely well made. It's extremely well shot, and Kubrick he wanted to make everything perfect, and it really paid off because this is a perfect movie. It's a masterpiece. The Shining. It's actually my second favorite horror movie of all time.
Okay, my number 8 is another pretentious art film, and that's a movie that I guarantee you've never heard of, and that's Fanny and Alexander, which is 3 hours long, and I think it's a fantastic film. It's not just pretty fantastic, it's fantastic. It's a 9 out of 10. This movie is absolutely masterful, and I'm talking in every sense of the word.
Yeah, so
sound,
how would you give it a 10?
And no, sound, cinematography. The cinematography is amazing in this movie. The dialogue is great. The characters feel realistic. There's not stupid cliches and shit all over the place. Directed by Ingmar Bergman. I haven't seen any of his other films. He made Persona, which looks fantastic. It's a piece of art. Go watch it.
My number 7
bitch, get your list.
Is Back to the Future. All these movies are just our movies are like iconic classics, and then he just has foreign pretentious movies.
Yeah.
Okay, and everyone has seen Back to the Future. It's a great movie. Is it my favorite time travel movie? Anyways, and it's just not like a nostalgic movie. There are great things about it. Christopher Lloyd is great in it, and the writing is fantastic.
It's pretty good.
It's is it Robert Zemeckis' best movie? No, Forrest Gump. This is close to his best movie.
Yeah, Flight's better. The plane scene in Flight is better than anything in this movie.
Michael J. Fox.
It's great. It's pretty good.
Alright, so my number 7 is another Kubrick movie, and it's Full Metal Jacket, which is a Vietnam War movie. It's basically like 2 movies. There's like the boot camp, and then there's the actual like Vietnam scenes.
Spoilers.
And I don't really think this movie's like about one character. I think it's like a really just like study. I don't want to say study, but like it's about like all these different like characters. I kind of wish that Arlie Ermey was in the rest of the movie because he plays the drill sergeant, and he's good in this movie. He's fantastic, right?
He's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, Arlie Ermey is amazing. Yeah, Full Metal Jacket. It's intense. In the first half, it's funny. It's dramatic, and then it can get like really intense at times, like really fast. It can get intense, and it's definitely up there. It's my second favorite Kubrick movie. So there you go.
Okay, number 7 is just a fantastic film, which is Amadeus. It's a 9 out of 10, but it's a fantastic film. But yeah, Amadeus is great. It has amazing music. I really love the score. The acting is great. I love the ending. I like the character of Mozart a lot, and it's really good. It's really good. If you like great music and you like great biographies, go watch this movie.
My number 6 is also a Vietnam War movie, but it's not necessarily like action movie or like a thriller. This movie is Good Morning Vietnam.
So just American propaganda.
An amazing Robin Williams movie. This movie is not. It's a mixture of both a comedy and a drama, and I
Drama.
think a dramedy, and I forget who directs it, but they were able to blend the two genres very well to make a very well balanced movie that keeps you entertained throughout.
Kelp juice.
So my number 6 is my favorite comedy film of all time, and it is Ghostbusters, the original, and I'm not looking forward to the remake.
You guys are just underrating Melissa
Okay.
McCarthy.
Oh my god. Alright, yeah, Ghostbusters, yeah, it's just a fantastic comedy. I could, like, quote this movie, like, right now, just, like, recite the whole movie. This is probably, like, the most, like, watched movie by me, and I still think it's funny, even after so many viewings. Like, the 4 Ghostbusters have, like, amazing, like, chemistry together, and...
Not like sexual chemistry,
yeah.
like platonic friends chemistry.
Yeah.
Though we'll see the new Ghostbusters, they all might be lesbians.
Yeah, Ghostbusters is a really fun movie. It's extremely well written, and it has one of the best, like...
I don't really want to see a Melissa McCarthy sex scene.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
She's gonna be down here. Fat.
You won't be able to see anything.
No, with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Oh my
Well, they're like the same size. Right? Okay, my number 6 is definitely a movie you've never heard of. Yeah, I know, but it's another pretentious art film, and that is Koyanis Katsi, which is an amazing film. I love this movie. It has one of my favorite scores of all time. The music is absolutely amazing in this movie. Like, holy shit, is it amazing?
Does the music make the movie?
The music makes 75% of the movie. The music really does help the film deliver its message, and it fits with everything that the film shows. And it's a documentary, by the way, and it's the connection between nature and men. And it's it's artsy, so if you're into that kind of stuff, you'll like it.
Is it true?
It has the song in Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan's theme.
Prophecies.
Zack Snyder just steals every fucking thing that he sees.
It worked in that movie.
It worked in the movie, but I hate Watchmen now, so yeah. This movie's far better than Watchmen, everything about it. Just go watch this, skip Watchmen. Zack Snyder's a hack, go watch this.
Do you think it's the best directorial debut?
I don't know.
That's
For
the
Gilbert
director.
Godfrey.
I don't know right now.
Godfrey Rush.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
My number 5 is a film I believe is on all of our lists, and that is The Elephant Man.
Wow,
It is just such an amazing movie, and from, geez, where do I even start? Amazing performances by both John Hurt and Anthony Hopkins. Honestly, this is one of those movies that is just so powerful and just heart-moving. I don't think I could ever watch it again, just because of how, it's such an amazing movie, but just having to sit through it and watch the pain of these characters is almost unbearable. And I recommend this movie, but I would understand why you wouldn't like it, because I don't think it's for everybody. So, but
Yeah,
definitely,
it's not like an entertaining.
Yes, it's not
It's definitely like a depressing movie. So my number 5 is my favorite horror film of all time, and it is fuck you. And it is The Thing. The Thing from John Carpenter. It's my favorite John Carpenter film. Not Halloween. The Thing is one of the most suspenseful films ever, because the whole movie, it just keeps you like on your toes, and you have to like keep thinking through the whole movie, like, who is the Thing? Because the Thing could change into anything, basically, any living thing. And Kurt Russell in this movie is just a badass, and Keith David is also a badass. Just anytime Keith David shows up in anything, I'm gonna watch it. 'Cause Keith David's awesome. And also, I don't really want to spoil it, but the defibrillator scene in the movie is like one of the scariest scenes I've ever seen, because like my heart like literally just like felt like it dropped like when that scene happened. So, oh, and the practical effects are like possibly my favorite effects ever in a movie. So
Yeah, but Jeremy Jones thinks they're dated, so he's right.
thinks they're dated for some reason.
He likes Thor more than this movie. I mean, he has no credit.
And Thor has shit effects. So. But yeah, Rob Bottin, he is a special effects master. He did a lot of movies. He did Fight Club 7, Total Recall. I'm pretty sure he did Empire Strikes Back as well. I think he did Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, like the practical effects. And I don't think I could think of anyone who has done more like practical effects, more influential practical effects than Rob Bottin. He's just an amazing special effects person. So there you go. Giving him most of the credit for this movie. Go for it.
Okay, so we're finally at the 10 out of 10 movies on my list.
Yeah, the thing's 10 out of 10.
Maybe.
It's a masterpiece.
My Neighbor Totoro is a great... My Neighbor Totoro is an amazing animation film by Studio Ghibli, directed by Hayao Miyazaki, the best animation movie director of all time. My Neighbor Totoro has amazing animation. It's hand-drawn animation, so it's not like all CGI shit. It's all great. It's better than anything that Pixar or Disney has ever done. Go watch this movie. Skip out on WALL-E, Monsters University. Watch this. It's a great animation film. Great voice acting. Great story. Great story. It's unique and original. Everything that you would not find in a Pixar movie. So watch this.
My number 4 is The Untouchables. It stars Kevin Costner.
Costco.
And it's supporting, there's Sean Connery and Robert De Niro. This is an amazing movie, definitely the best Brian De Palma movie. And actually, Sean Connery won Best Supporting Actor in 1987.
For this?
Yeah, for The Untouchables. And I haven't seen the full Metal Jacket. So
I thought you were going to say, I haven't seen the whole movie.
I just really enjoy this movie. It's...
Because you're really attracted to Great Dragon.
Is it because the twist is really gay?
This is just a really great crime thriller and just drug movie. Brian De Palma is great with those thrillers, Scarface.
Well, Scarface?
Yeah.
Good movies?
Yeah.
Remember he said, do you know what he even said?
I don't know.
He's really good at making jarg movies.
No, what are you talking about?
You're like, he's great at making jarg movies.
Dry movies.
Check it out.
Jug movies.
Judge movies.
My number 4 is, it's a very, very sad movie. The Elephant Man. Did you just make an elephant sound? So, yeah, it's The Elephant Man. And like you said, I'm not sure if I can watch this movie again. It's, it's very depressing, but it's also kind of happy in a way. I don't want to sound like...
The ending was, I cried.
Wow, that's surprising. Yeah, I cried like 5 times during this movie. Like I emptied like a tissue box watching this movie. So, oh wait, that sounds bad.
What's that super bad website? That they say?
Nipple slip.
Yeah, nipple slip.
That was Kick-Ass.
Oh, whatever.
Elephant nip.
Yeah, Elephant Man. It's one of the most like moving films ever.
Because you have to move your hand around. Because you have to move your hand around.
Oh my god. John Hurt and Anthony Hopkins give amazing performances. I know it's blasphemy, but I might like Anthony Hopkins more in this movie than Silence of the Lambs. It's hard to say, but I mean, a lot of people are gonna like crucify me for saying that.
He's been on Thor.
Hannibal is like so iconic, but he is like Anthony Hopkins is amazing, and John Hurt. I felt really bad for the Elephant Man character, and yeah, it's just one of those movies that you have to see. You have to see. It's all about like human nature, and it's gonna move you unless you're a heartless asshole.
Okay, my number 4 is also The Elephant Man. Well, I agree with everything that he said. It was pretty sad. Really, really sad. It's an amazing movie. The performances are amazing. John Hurt and Anthony Hopkins are amazing. Yeah, I didn't empty out a tissue box. I did cry though quite a few times. It was really sad. Just fantastic. It's probably the saddest movie and the most depressing movie. No, not the most depressing, but it's one of the most depressing movies ever made. But yeah, it is the saddest movie ever made because the Elephant Man just, Jesus, had a bad life.
Yeah.
It has a great message.
Yes.
America.
Several great messages. Josh.
Okay, my number 3 is Aliens. And I honestly enjoy Aliens more than the original Aliens. I understand. I understand. No, I believe that Alien is better than Aliens.
I'm saying Aliens is better than Aliens.
No, what? I said Alien.
No, you said Aliens.
No, I said Alien.
You said Aliens.
No.
Yeah, you did.
When?
We're gonna stop this and watch.
I enjoy Aliens more than Alien, but Alien is definitely better than Aliens. It's just... yes, okay.
And you like the characters?
Well, I think I like Aliens. It's more enjoyable because I think for this type of franchise and the kind of plot they were going with, I feel that bigger is better, and having like a bigger cast in this movie and having
makes it more generic.
No, and it has like a broader location, and I think that makes it more compelling, so to speak. Having it so confined, I think while it makes it more of a horror movie, I think it takes
supposed to be a horror movie.
Okay, Aliens is a really good movie.
Just say your thing.
Yeah.
Thanks. So my number 3 is is one of my favorite.
We're not at number 2 yet.
One of my favorite action. Fuck you guys. My number 3 is one of my favorite action films of all time, and it is Die Hard. I know Delish loves this movie, but
yeah, I think it's a great film.
Josh hates it.
Yeah.
What is he even doing? It has 2 of my favorite performances ever. It has 2 of my favorite characters ever, which are John McClane, played by Bruce Willis, and Hans Gruber, played by Alan Rickman. Rest in peace. Hans Gruber is just one of my favorite villains ever, and John McClane's one of my favorite protagonists ever. These 2 work very well, even though they're rarely on screen together. I just like all the scenes that they're in. It's one of the most intense movies I've ever watched. Like when he's like tied to the fire hose and he's like going over top of and he like jumps off the building. Remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah, that's like one of the most intense scenes I've ever seen. The action is great. Bruce Willis, yeah, he can't act now, but he's great in this movie. Already, as I said, Alan Rickman. It's a masterpiece, in my opinion.
My number 3 is my second favorite horror movie, which is The Thing, directed by John Carpenter, which I think this is his only great film. Has great suspense, has great characters, especially for a horror movie. That's surprising because for horror movies, just like the characters are shit. Horror movies to me are just usually shit, and when I say a horror movie's great, that means it's great. So you should probably like this movie. Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. What else do I have to say about it? I mean, the acting is great. The visual effects are fantastic. They're not dated at all. They're all great, and it's actually a really scary movie at times. And the score is pretty good as well. And the location really is amazing in this movie. It actually feels like they're actually in the cold and they're freezing. And when you watch this movie, you want to watch it with a blanket because it gets really cold.
Okay, my number 2 is a movie they have both already mentioned, and that is Rain Man. And there's really not much I could say that it hasn't already been said. All the acting is great. The storytelling is great. It's a very enthralling movie for just the characters, and
it's a road trip movie.
Yeah, it's a road trip movie. Yeah,
is it better than The Guilt Trip?
Definitely one of the best picture winners, 1988. This is definitely better than My Neighbor Totoro and all the other garbage 1988 movies.
Alright, Die Hard. Alright, so my number 2 is a movie that neither of these kids like. He doesn't like the movie for some reason.
I give it 6.
corporations and like television and all that stuff and violence. And it's still relevant today. It's not like 80s satire. It's not fully 80s satire. It still works in a modern society. So that's what I like about it. It's relevant, and it has some really awesome action scenes. It's one of the most violent films I've ever seen. I haven't seen so much blood ever in one movie, except for like maybe Tarantino. I think Peter Weller was the perfect choice for the lead role because, I don't know, I think his voice is so iconic as RoboCop, and it's all about him, his journey to humanity after he becomes a robot. And yeah, just I can't say anything more. It's a classic to me. I know it's not for everyone, but if you like action movies, if you like smart action movies, I think you'll really like this movie. And yeah, it's fantastic. It's a masterpiece.
Number 2 is a Stanley Kubrick movie, which actually has good writing, unlike his movies.
Full Metal Jacket actually had a script.
Yeah. Full Metal Jacket is the definition of a masterpiece. It is amazing. Stanley Kubrick is just a masterful director, just amazing.
I can agree on that.
He doesn't, yeah. So this movie just isn't. This movie isn't like cliched and just formulated like most other war movies.
It's not just like, oh, let's go to battle.
Yeah, it shows both sides. It shows like the training, just like the training, and it shows the actual war stuff. And it's not. And like people say, the only good stuff, the only great stuff is like the training stuff. I disagree. The war stuff is amazing.
Yeah,
and it's really intense.
It's really like, you know, like the sniper scene. It's actually like really amazing that Kubrick was able to like make that scene, and it was like 30 minutes long, but he was able to like keep it suspenseful for the whole time. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like dragged on too long. Yeah.
I just want to say that I've never seen a Stanley Kubrick movie.
Dude, didn't you see his IMDb profile name? It was MovieFan1495.
It was MovieMan191.
It's Movie Man's. My number one.
The Wildlings.
My number one top 10 movies is actually my favorite movie of all time now. If you saw the 90s video, my number one for 90s was my favorite movie of all time, so it's changed. We'll see if my favorite film of the 70s is my favorite film of all time.
Yeah.
Anyways, that film is...
Godfather Part 2.
Oh, fuck you. But Amadeus, it is just such an amazing movie. I mean, it's over 3 hours long.
No, it's not.
Isn't it?
Oh my god.
Isn't it?
You're so stupid. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes.
And it also has Mark Hamill in it.
No.
Has F. Murray
Abraham.
What? I always think it as Mark Hamill in it. As Mozart.
One of the most unique movies I've ever seen. That follows a topic so unlike most films.
It has subtext.
It definitely has subtext. Would you consider it an art film, Luigi?
No, it's not.
It could. Some people might consider it art film.
Yeah, there's.
But definitely check it out.
It's just a generic war film.
What are you talking about? It's a war on one's emotions and the death of their father.
A war with Davis.
Shut up.
Alright, so my number one is
Rocky IV.
My number one is my favorite film of all time.
What?
No, just kidding. It's in my top 10 films for sure. It's not my. It's actually my third favorite Robert De Niro movie, which that just shows how much I like Robert De Niro.
Oh my.
Robert De Niro gives one of the best performances of all time in this movie. And to me, this is one of those movies that if someone like said like a masterpiece, this would be up there for a movie that I would call a masterpiece, because when I think about it, everything about it is perfect. The acting is perfect. The cinematography is just brilliant. The directing is brilliant. Okay, the boxing scenes, I don't think... it's hard to say, but it's just some of the best cinematography, like... Because all you can see is like the ring, and it's like black all outside of it, so... It's just some of the best lighting ever. As I said, Robert De Niro, I mean, you could call Robert De Niro one note in this movie because he just plays like one thing for the whole movie, but that's his character. And the whole point of this movie is to create portrayal of a unsympathetic character, hero, for lack of a better term. And yeah, it just works. It really works. There's a lot of emotion in it, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's my favorite film of the 80s. It's amazing. It's a masterpiece. There you go. 10 out of 10. 11 out of 10 if I could.
I also want to add something. I was watching this video on YouTube about like the cinematography about Raging Bull, and that one scene where De Niro is supposed to throw the fight and he's kind of losing, like he's just not fighting back. The camera is outside of the ring because it's kind of symbolizing that Jake LaMotta's heart isn't in the ring, but then when he starts fighting again, the camera comes back in the ring.
So just like the top 10 2010s movie, where Nolan had my number 1 and number 2 favorite 2010s movie, Stanley Kubrick has my number 1 and my number 2 favorite 80s films. And my number 1 favorite 80s film is The Shining, which is my favorite horror film of all time.
Respectable opinion. Come on. Come on.
Alright. Cinematography, the characters, the acting, I mean, Kubrick just worked his ass off.
Shelley Duvall.
Kubrick worked his ass off for this movie, and the actors did too, and you could tell. I mean, Jesus, like, so amazing. Honestly, it's just one of those.
It's a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece. Jack Torrance is the second best character in a horror movie.
So don't you love Shelley Duvall in the movie?
Yeah, she's great. I don't get what the hate is all about. She does not deserve a Razzie. She was absolutely fantastic in the movie. She actually looked like she was scared by Jack Nicholson, which, I mean, we all would be. And also the child actor in this movie who plays Danny is also fantastic.
He's now a teacher in Alabama, I believe.
Studying plants.
Alright, so that is our top 10 80s films.